The Lions are selling their basement apartment in the NFC North, and it looks like the Bears are ready to move in. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi, and Bears fans. Bears fans. A few weeks ago, I feel like it's been a millennium at this point, I came out with a little video called In Defense of Mitch Trubisky. It was pretty popular. I thought it was one of my better videos, basically saying to give Mitch Trubisky a chance. He's not the reason why, or the sole reason why, you're losing some games. Now, fast forward to this week, in which the LA Chargers go to Soldier Field, defeat the Bears due to a Eddie Pinheiro missed field goal. And now you have lost 3 straight, are 3-4, and are last in the NFC North. It is very safe to say that the Chicago Bears are in trouble. And what I wanted to talk about with this, I've been going back and forth with this video, because originally I was going to be like, you know what? Maybe I should need to walk back some statements about Mitch Trubisky. I saw some highlights from the Saints game, and I was like, oof, he's missing wide open receivers. He's not making good decisions. And I didn't watch yesterday's game. I just saw the very end of it. And so I was going to just put out a video and, based off the stats, based off what I've seen in the previous weeks. But I'm glad I sat down and I actually watched some of the Chargers and Bears game. And I am very, very confident in saying that this is not all Mitch Trubisky's fault. He is not helping a whole lot, but good God, if you think that if you got rid of Mitch Trubisky tomorrow, that all of your problems would be solved, you would be sorely mistaken. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into what the actual hell is going on with the Chicago Bears, and why, if you're looking to scapegoat somebody, Trubisky might not be the guy to scapegoat. All right, let's start with the man of the hour. Let's take a look at the guy who has been crucified by the Chicago fan base, by the Chicago media, and the NFL media as a whole, and plus it's always fun to laugh at Mitch Trubisky. At the Saints game, right? 34 for 54, 2 touchdowns. Most of, if not all of that, is essentially in garbage time. So, the 2 touchdowns, we could throw that to the side. The thing that's important about that stat is they made the guy throw, coming off of injury, 54 times. 54! Mitch Trubisky. The guy that everyone's been complaining about, how he can't make the throws or this, that, and the other thing? Why in God's name you make him throw 54 times? But let's get off of that. Let's go to the Chargers. Oh, and by the way, you know what? Let's not get off of that. Let's talk about the run game that existed or did not exist in the Saints game, in which you had 4 rushers, and I'm pretty sure you had a total of 18 yards last week. Anyone? And Matt Nagy's response to that is, I'm not stupid. Of course, we got to run the ball this week. Okay, that's good. At least he got the memo there. Now let's look at Trubisky's stats for the Chargers game. 23 for 35, 253 yards, an interception. He was sacked 4 times, and of course, fumbled. And so I'm looking at these stats, and I'm like, oof. That's rough. Still making him throw the ball 35 times, but you know what? At least it's not 54, so there's some improvement there. And so I wanted to take a look at what the Bears were doing when they had control of the ball. What kind of throws Trubisky was making, etc. Now, let's get this out of the way. Trubisky made some really bad throws yesterday. some really bad throws. He threw into triple coverage, one that got intercepted. He threw wide of guys. He threw behind guys. Did not make a bunch of throws, and it was ugly. And so I want to make it very clear. I'm not sitting here going, Mitch Trubisky is a perfect quarterback. He is not. He is a quarterback in his second year. Second year, coming off an injury. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's talk about what Mitch Trubisky actually does accomplish. First of all, he made some really impressive throws yesterday. That last drive, for example, does not happen without Mitch Trubisky. He makes some big throws to open receivers, and then he's able to scoot around after being under pressure like he was most of the game, scoot out to the left, have a big run, and get you guys in field goal range. That's Trubisky. That's why you drafted him. He can sometimes be elusive. He can sometimes make those throws into double coverage, which he most certainly did. But again, far from perfect, but that last drive doesn't happen without Mitch Trubisky. Now, you gave him a little bit of help, right? So Montgomery, cheap plug, he was on a stud for my fantasy studs and duds last week. Just saying. Montgomery, carried the ball 27 times. It's about damn time for over 130 yards and getting a TD. Yay! But wait a minute. You guys traded away Jordan Howard, and so because you had this great 1-2 combination of Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery. But Tariq Cohen is so beyond irrelevant, you don't give him the ball. He's just sitting back there returning kicks and providing a little spark. But he's barely doing anything. I think he had something in the first quarter, and that's about it. Why are you not using him? These are two versatile backs that you should be able to use nonstop. Cohen is a speedy, versatile guy who is dangerous in the passing game, and Montgomery can ground and pound it down your throat. Why are we not having more imaginative play calling? Why is that not happening? But we'll get there. Don't worry, we will get there. Let's talk about the play calling in general. First of all, it sucked. It sucked ass. So for example, take a look at the first drive. So this is 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Trubisky, he's staying in the pocket. He's completing 2 big throws. He's getting down towards the end zone. Then they're put in a position where they try some fakery quick run, which blows up in their face. It's 3rd and 12. Doesn't work out because he just has to dump it off, essentially. Because they don't trust Mitch Trubisky to make the big throws unless he's put in a really, really bad situation. And because of that, you miss a field goal. Then, your next drive, you get a pick, you run it down inside the 10, you get down to the 4-yard line. And what do? You call 3 straight passes in a row. Why? You have David Montgomery. Give him the ball. And he doesn't just have to run up the middle because you did that plenty of times and you went nowhere. Have him run to the outside once or twice. It usually gets a first down. From the 4. And the first thought is, I'm going to have Mitch Trubisky, this quarterback, throw it 3 times. Bravo play calling. Bravo. Then at one point, it's 3rd and goal in another drive from the 9-yard line, and then you decide to run it. So you believe that David Montgomery is going to get 9 yards, but you don't trust him enough to get 4 yards in 3 plays. Spot on there. Then the drive before halftime. Good God. Good. Like, seriously, I have plenty of toasters because you're going to need them. That was the ugliest drive before half I've ever seen. That kept getting extended by terrible Charger penalties, where there was pass interference in the end zone, and it just kept extending because you couldn't get in the end zone. And then the play clock and play management is so terrible that you have to down it when there's only 1 second left and settle for another field goal. And so the red zone offense was just atrocious. Completely and totally atrocious. So, again, right now, this is just from Sunday. Trubisky, not making all the throws, making some bad decisions, but is being put into situations where, things aren't really going so well, and that it's 3rd and 12, or it's 3rd and long, what have you, and he's going to have to do all this. You're not running it from inside the 4-yard line. Instead, you throw it 3 times instead. And the play calling is just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. And that's just Sunday alone. Now, obviously, this comes down to the very last drive, and the Chargers didn't want to win this game either. They missed a field goal right before. But it comes down, you're down by 1 point. You drive down, Trubisky makes those good throws, scrambles out of the pocket, and you get down to around the 20-yard line. And you have 41 seconds left on the clock. You have one timeout. And you get in victory formation, and you kneel it. Okay, I somewhat understand it. You want to be conservative, but you have one timeout. You don't want to try to run it just like a little bit and make it a little bit of an easier kick since Panera already missed one that same day? No? Okay, all right. So you make him kick a 41-yard field goal. It sails wide left. Game over. Everyone on the Bears sideline is like, yep, this is our life now. Now, here's what I really want to point out. Not just like the decision making, because again, if he hits that field goal, we're not having this conversation. But it's how he approached reporters afterwards, in which he was asked about that, in which he said that he had not thought about running the ball because there could have been a loss of 2 or 3 or 4, right? He also ruled out the fact of definitely you weren't going to throw the ball. And so he was so afraid to put the ball either on the ground or lose yardage or what have you, even though they wound up still losing. And what that just shouts out to me is that Matt Nagy has zero confidence in his running game, and he sure as hell has no confidence in his QB at all. Because if you look at the Packers last night, this was happening while the stream was going on, and I was going through the motions in my head. It's 3rd and 5. The Chiefs have no timeouts left. We could run the ball and most likely not get the first down, but it'll take some time off the clock. Then we're going to give it back to the Chiefs. Or we could throw the ball and try to win the game. Jones runs out. Rodgers throws it to him. Complete. We win the game. Matt LaFleur on the sideline telling Aaron Rodgers, go win the game. That is confidence in your QB. And so if you're Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy is saying, oh God, no, we would have never thrown that ball. Never thrown that ball. How the hell are you supposed to instill confidence in this player that he's supposed to be the leader of this offense? And you're just like, no, I wouldn't trust him with the ball at all. When he was the one who got you in that position on the last drive in the first place. Like, that's what I mean. The Bears, it's not just Trubisky. And guess what? The problems that Trubisky has, which there are many, are not being helped by his support staff. And you look at what they have in 2018, right? They were 21st in passing. They were not great in the passing game and passing yards last year. But they were 11th in rushing yards. This season, thus far, they are 29th in passing yards expected and 26th in rushing. That is disgusting. That is terrible. And you can blame the offensive line, and there's some blame definitely to go around. But good God, man, you also have to call some damn running plays. Utilize the players that you have. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You have these guys, use them. What are you doing? And you look at this, and you look at Trubisky, and you're like, okay, he's the source of the problem. He's missing throws, which he is. He's making bad decisions, which he is. But you go, as a Bears fan, you go and you watch the highlights from yesterday, and you look at some of the throws Trubisky makes, and some of them are pretty damn good. Some of them are in tight coverage, double coverage. There's one to Allen Robinson that gets them inside the red zone. He throws it right over the defender's head. Allen Robinson makes a great catch, but it's a great throw by Trubisky. He makes some of those damn good throws. But then you're running it when it's 3rd and 9, and you're throwing it 3 times when you're inside the 4. You can't blame that on Trubisky. You can blame the poor clock management on him, sure, 100%. He's a developing QB. And I gotta be honest, you know, they're coming out to saying Mitch Trubisky is our starting quarterback. Great, that's wonderful. But How long is that going to last? In which the guy has no support system, he doesn't have the offensive line, he doesn't really have a whole lot of weapons to throw to, and you're not utilizing the running game. What's the kid supposed to do? And so how I see this playing out is that Trubisky will get run out of town, and that will be a huge stain on Pace's career. Matt Nagy, who the hell knows, he'll probably stay around because of last season. And then you're going to have to go find another quarterback. But I feel like Bears fans have given up on Trubisky so quickly. But there's so many other issues going on with the team. This team was 12-4 last year. 12-4. You just had to be 21st in passing and actually have a good running game. And now you have the same amount of losses coming into week 9 than you already had all of last season. You are dead last in the NFC North. It's a tight division. It's a tight division. And so you look at what's going on here. They don't have an easy schedule coming up. The defense is still playing fairly well. You obviously are drastically missing Akeem Hicks because now people don't have to decide, okay, are we going to double Hicks or are we going to double Mack? They're just going to double Mack. Mack has been relatively quiet. There's a reason, because now more focus can be placed on him. And that's not your fault. That's not the defense's fault. The defense is still playing pretty damn well. But again, if you're not going to be able to rely on that elite defense to at least be at the level that it was last year, then that offense needs to pick it up. You guys need to restore that balance. And it's not all Trubisky. You need to look at Matt Nagy. You need to look at the play calling. And you need to ask questions like, why the hell are we not using our guys? Why the hell did we bring Allen Robinson in? Taylor Gabriel. Why do we bring these guys in? Why did we draft David Montgomery if we're not going to use him? They used him this week, which was nice. Where the hell was he last week? Where the hell has he been all season? It doesn't make sense to me. At all. At all. And so, yes, the Chicago Bears are in a lot of trouble. But if you think that getting rid of Trubisky is going to solve all those problems, I don't think you're correct. And with a not easy schedule coming up for the rest of the season, we're halfway through now, and to be in a very competitive division, you might be in that basement apartment for the rest of the season. But that's just my opinion as a random Packers fan. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think it's all Trubisky? Do you think if only we had a kicker? Do you think it's Nagy? Do you think it's Pace? Who the hell is it? Who is it? Because I'm telling you, it's more than one person. But you can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy. All the social media see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the Patreon members over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. All right, 3 videos in a day. Ending with talking about the Bears. I think that's a good place to stop. We'll have more videos tomorrow, because of course we will. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.